The following program contains no firearms, no scenes of hunting, no violence, and no cruelty to animals. We do not promote hunting. All guns shown in this program are compressed by spring, gas piston, or PCP. Do not require a firearm license. The program is aimed to be informative, entertaining, and sportive.
So hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be a review of a newly launched Indian made air rifle from SDB Air Rifles. So Sushanta Das and Bros have recently launched this premium underlever air rifle. I would say premium in the sense like the way it works, the functionality and the performance of the air rifle is so good that I would just rate it to a premium mark of Indian made air rifles. So this rifle is named as Panther. Even though you can see the name written as Stallion on the stock, this rifle is renamed as Panther. There was a little bit of problem with the Indian's trademark act or something, so they have renamed this rifle from Stallion to Panther. So you all will be receiving the rifle in the name of Panther actually. So this is out from the first batch of air rifles, so it is still with the name Stallion. So the name doesn't matter. What matters is the features, the specs and the performance of the air rifle, which is like really great. We will know more about this air rifle in detail. Let's get into the video. Taking a look at this air rifle, this rifle is beautifully made, actually looks really beautiful. I would say this is kind of a premium underlever air rifle in Indian section, because as far as now I have never seen a so good looking or a good made air rifle, underlever air rifle in India. Just from the experience I have crossed with all the other air rifles. So this is a really well made air rifle for sure. So we'll know more about this air rifle. So starting from the front, you have a metal front sight housing. The housing is metal, the front sight itself is plastic actually, but it's not of cheap plastic, which is a very good quality of plastic I would say. And the rear sight is all metal, which has adjustable knobs for windage and elevation. I have tried this rifle with open sights. So usually when I buy a new rifle, I don't straight away go and fix the scope on the top. I let the rifle to settle down. I always try to go with open sights for few hundred shots and then try to mount a scope on the top. So I always go with open sights, and this rifle was deadly accurate with open sights also. So below the front sight over here, you have the small catch which holds the underlever arm of this air rifle. So there is a small button on the underlever in the front. You press this button, it releases the underlever. You just can load the rifle, and in order to fix it back, you press the buttons again and you just put it back again. So it will lock in its place. So there is a procedure for loading this air rifle, I would say that at very first. So the procedure is that you press this button in the front. I will post a separate video for that. You press this button in the front, release the underlever arm, you load the rifle, and then you hold the underlever arm in your hand and you open the breech port, place a pellet head first inside into the slot, slide it into the barrel, close the breech port block, and then fix the underlever back in its place, aim at the intended target and then squeeze the trigger. So this is the right procedure for using this air rifle. And don't try to open the breech block when the rifle is not loaded, because the breech block won't open if the rifle is not loaded. So don't try to put more effort into the thing and break the holder of this breech block. So I just wanted to inform to you all at first itself. Behind that we have the beautifully blued in chamber over here. The bluing is really good, which has which is like adding to the look of this air rifle a lot. And in this place we have the breech port of this air rifle. As I said, the breech port can be opened only when the rifle is loaded. Don't try to open the breech port when the rifle is not loaded. So this kind of breech port, which is a sliding type, I love about the features of this rifle, because instead of having a bear trap mechanism, the breech port which slides back and you have to put in your finger inside to load the pellet, this is a much safer option I would say. There is no danger in putting your finger inside, because even though the rifle trigger fails and the piston slams in the front, you won't have any damages in your thumb. Whereas in the older versions of underlever, where the breech port opens like a lock, you might end up, if there is an accident, like you might end up losing your thumb. So this is a much safer option I would say. And behind that we have the 11mm dovetail of this air rifle. So the 11mm dovetail is built onto this air rifle, which on the top which I have mounted a Marcool 329x40 scope, which I already done the review on the previous video, with a single piece mount on the top. Doesn't need a zero recoil mount. The scope itself is holding zero very well, I have crossed almost like 500 shots or more than 500 shots with the same scope on the setup, and it is still doing good, I would say. So thanks to RCTAC Outdoors for sending me the scope, and for orders, like if you want to buy the scope, just contact RCTAC Outdoors. I'll just put up a link for his channel down in the description below, so you can click on the link, go to his channel, contact him and make orders for the same scope. It is running good. It is running good on a underlever air rifle, so it will run good on a brake barrel also. So below that you have the safety feature of this air rifle. So this has a manual safety. I am a big fan of manual safety. Instead of an automatic safety, I love to have a manual safety so that I can engage the safety whenever there is a need for engaging the safety too. So behind that you have the trigger of this air rifle, which is a very good trigger, very good and crisp trigger. This is two-stage trigger which has adjustability for both the first stage and the second stage. I did not do anything to this trigger. It came very good from the factory. I left it as it is. It has a very good first stage, a very free moving first stage. Stops, has a definite stop on the first stage, and then brakes really clean. You can feel the stop very definitely, and then you just can pull the trigger very crisp. So I love the trigger of this air rifle. This is the same trigger which is already there in the SDB Sniper, which I already reviewed. So the trigger is very good from SDB. Recent rifles from SDBs are having great triggers. One of the best trigger is the trigger from Zena. I just love the trigger for sure. And the trigger guard itself is plastic. Thick plastic for sure, not so cheap, but it is of plastic. Coming to the main part of this gun, another one main part of this gun is this wooden stock over here. They have put a lot of effort on making a really good wooden stock for this rifle. I don't know about the material of this stock. Actually, this is a beechwood stock or a hardwood stock. I'm not sure about the thing, but they have put in a lot of effort to make this wooden stock really beautiful. The wooden stock is beautifully done, extends all the way to the front before the chamber, which gives a very good look. The checkering, the design on the stock is like beautiful, adds more look to this rifle. And there is a rubber recoil pad over here, vented rubber recoil pad at the back, which absorbs the recoil a bit and adds really good look to this rifle. So the advantage of wooden stock, I'll just tell you a little bit of advantage of wooden stock than the fiber stock. Actually, wooden stock tends to absorb a recoil, a little bit of recoil from the air rifle. So rifles which has a wooden stock, you don't feel a lot of recoil onto your shoulders, so you just can handle the rifle really easily and have good results out of this air rifle, which I did not deny, which I won't deny, because this rifle is giving me really good results for sure. I'm happy with the results this rifle is providing. So altogether, taking a look at the rifle, this rifle is awesome looking air rifle for sure. Very premium air rifle. In case of bluing, the stock, the working mechanism, it's like really beautifully done. I'm so happy with this rifle. So next up, which we are going to test, is the accuracy test of this air rifle. I have taken few pellets with me, going to test them at 25 yards, take 2 or 3 best out of them and test it at 50 yards. Let's see the results and then conclude how the rifle's performance is going to be. Let's go. So let's start off with the accuracy testing. I'll just move on from the lighter weight pellets to all the way to the heavier pellets. Actually, I'm just going to go up to 10 grains only. So I'm going to start off with the JSB 7.87 grains Express Diablos. Lightweight pellets seem to be very accurate in low powered air rifles like brake barrels and nitro pistons. So I'm just going to give it a try. Okay, let's start. I set up the targets at 25 yards. Alright. So that's 5 shots at 25 yards with the JSP 7.87 grain pellets. Let's take the target up close, measure it, and then move on to the next pellet. So the second pellet which we are going to test now is the JSB 8.4 grain pellets. This is kind of a go-to pellet for all my brake barrel rifles. So I'm just going to give it a try on this one. Okay, seems to be a decent group, but not so good as the 7.87 grains. Let's move on to the next pellet. So the third pellet which I'm going to test now is the flathead R10 match pellets actually. So the weight of the pellets is 8.2 grains. Let's see how it's going to perform at 25 yards. I won't be taking this flathead pellets to 50 yards because I'm damn sure like flatheads are good up to 40 yards or less than 40 yards for sure, not more than 40. Let's give it a try at 25 yards and see how it's going to perform. Okay, flatheads are decent but not good as the JSBs. Let's move on to the next pellet. Next pellet I'm going to try is the Barracuda 8 grain pellets. Not the 10.65, it's the 8 grain Barracuda. Let's give it a try and see how it goes. Okay, seems to be a very good group actually. So I'm just going to move on to the next pellet. So the next pellet which I'm going to test now is the recently famous Chinese pellet, the QYS 9.56 grain streamlined. So let's give it a try. Okay, seems to be a really good group. I think this will move on to the 50 yards for sure. Let's move on to the next pellet. So the next pellet which you are going to test is the HN Barracuda 10.65 grains. Let's give it a try. Decent but not good as the other pellets. Let's move on to the last pellet. So the last pellet of the collection which I'm going to test at 25 yards is the JSB 10.34. Let's give it a try and see how it's going to perform. So I'm just about to do the 50 yard testing. Out of all the pellets I have tested, I found the JSB 7.87 grains and the QIS to be the best performing pellets at 25 yards for this particular gun. So what I'm going to do is like take the targets at 50 yards, try these two pellets at 50 and see how they are going to group at 50 yards. First up, I'm just going to use the JSB 7.87 grains Express Diablos. Let's see how it goes. Actually, the issue with this pellet is really accurate at short ranges, but when it goes to longer ranges, this tends to open up a bit because this is a very light pellet and can drift away in the wind a bit. Let's see. I'm going to go for the left side target for this one. I'm just going to roughly estimate the hold for about half a mil dot or something. Right, seems to be a good group at 50 yards. I'm just going to move on to the QIS 9.56 grains. The QIS 9.56 grains were dropping half a mil dot more at 25 yards, so I'm just going to hold half a mil dot more at 50. So it's going to be 1 mil dot of drop at 50 yards approximately. Alright, so as I said, the QIS performed much better this time, so let's consider this for the QIS 9.56 and let's conclude the video now. So we have came to the conclusion part of this video. You might have seen the performance of this rifle, how good the rifle is performing at ranges down at 25 and 50 yards. I have given you the collection of pellets which are working good on this rifle. Almost all the pellets are working quite good on this rifle. I would personally go with the 7.87 grains for 25 yards, and for 50 yards I would just go with the QIS 9.56 grains. So the ultimate best pellet for this rifle was the QIS 9.56 grains. Performed really well even at 50 yards. I am damn sure it will perform even much better at longer ranges also. So you can try different varieties of pellets and let me know like what all other pellets can suit for the air rifle. So I would just say like this gun accepts a wide variety of pellets actually. The JSP 8.4 grains and the Barracuda 8 grains were also equally accurate to these two pellets. So the JSP 8.4 or the Barracuda 8 grains can hold up the group to 50 yards very easily. So I would choose those pellets also for this rifle for sure. So altogether this rifle looks stunning, very well made, has a very good quality wooden stock. The well built underlever air rifle from India is really accurate too. So like I would say you can expect sub half inch group at 25 yards every time and sub 1 inch group at 50 yards almost every single time out of this air rifle. Like I'm so happy that I got a chance to check this air rifle out, and it's a really beautiful made air rifle from SDB. So I think I have given you all the information which you wanted in the right way possible. So if you need any more information or if you need any more changes on my video format to be done, the way I make the review, like let me know. I'll just try to add up in the future. I'm just working on improvising my videos day by day. We'll be making it better for sure. So if you find this content to be useful and if you like the content, just give a like or subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends so that it will help me growing up this channel. So I'll come up with a new video very soon on the same channel. See you all very soon back again. Until then, bye bye.